conversation, and the fact that the common denominator was the fact that there was poverty. Those things are still here now. And people are still upset about that right now. So I think that this is a timely conversation.
During these times, you're dealing with it. I just want to go quickly. You're dealing with the age of social media and your, misinformation and how people are being programmed with this misinformation. So a lot of people are using mass media and social media to misinform people, to have this sort of racial animus and tension, or Islamophobia and anti-Semitism are way back in the realm. So we have to sort of overcome these barriers during a time when information is flowing to people in a much different manner. So a question is, how do we traverse that sort of struggle we have?
Currently, I serve on the Use of Force Committee for Mesa, Arizona, and we are studying the use of force best practices that Mesa has. And one of the things that we talked about, and I became so passionate, I was the only one, I just stood up and I said, no, I'm against karate force, because I don't think we should be doing that to human beings. Everyone just looked at me, I just kind of lost it.
A large part of the reason South Phoenix is the way it is because if you weren't white, you couldn't buy property north of Van Buren until I believe late 60s, early 70s. And so while one side of the tracks was building generational wealth and investing in schools, the other side was fighting to get zoning so they could own property. And that's built how we present that to those neighborhoods. And that does tie into gentrification, because it's one thing to want to, say for example, expand light rail into South Phoenix. It's one thing to expand it, it's another thing to make sure the community is a part of that, and that they're not getting pushed out as the neighborhood is getting built.
Other states have funding for affordable housing, like 100 million, 200 million, and with the governor signing or the legislator putting in 15 million is bull crap, and it does nothing for the community. And so I'll say we as a community should go to them, sit in their office, make some kind of demands, because without some kind of agitation, nothing's going to change. You still have the same crap that you have now.
A census is an opportunity to actually say where money's supposed to go, because by law, everybody's supposed to get counted, everybody. And yet we don't count, or we undercount most of the black and brown communities. We scare people from counting. We tell them not to go out there. But rich white communities, they all get counted. They find it's very easy to get counted, and then when the money gets distributed, it's distributed where they are. This is a chance in each of our communities to speak up and, hey, I count. I should be part of this, and I would like all of you to do that in your own community and pass that word to everyone you know.
I think that the biggest way to start is listening. I think that's one of the best ways to start, especially if you're in a position of privilege. And because we live in an intersectional present, we are all in positions of relative privilege to someone. The main thing is, though, looking beyond yourself, and again, one of the best ways to do that is listening.
Because on the one hand, it doesn't seem like the pie has gotten bigger. And if people are still fighting for the same pie that hasn't gotten bigger, then it's going to lead to more dissension than people coming together. And I hear that in lots of conversations where, well, we can't talk about this because this is a black person issue. Or we can't talk about this because this is a brown person issue. And so I wonder, that hand that we have here on the banner there is separate as the fingers, yet one is the hand. And that feels like that's about coalition building. It's about making the connections that we have here, but also looking at those connections that already exist and not sort of starting from scratch.